So let's start. So for now, normally you have worked on your product pitch, so you know who you are targeting, what the pain you want to address, and what the solution you want to bring. But you know that at a high level, right? So you don't really know precisely what the product is going to be. You just know the issue you want to target, the people you want to target. So if we take we'll take the example of Airbnb. So what's the product, just to remind a bit, the product pitch of Airbnb? What's the target, pain, and solution of Airbnb? So what's the target? People want to travel on one side, and on the other side of the marketplace? Landlords, people who own flats. So what's their pain on these both targets? So people who want to travel, their pain is? The
cost of residency?
Yeah, the cost of a hotel, a regular hotel, and also maybe the lack of romanticism of a regular hotel, let's say, but mostly the cost. And for a landlord, what's the pain? A flat is expensive, so you have to actually rent it to make money. Okay. And so the solution is a marketplace, but that we all know, which is Airbnb. So that's the product pitch. And normally you've got the same thing for your product. But that doesn't say what is the actual product I'm going to build, right? So whenever you've got this overall product pitch, this is what we will do in this morning lecture, and that you will do on your project today. We'll go through all these steps. So we have the general product pitch, which is really good. That's the first thing to start with. But then from this general pitch, we are going to really extract one use case. So one use case, it will be one verb and one complement. So let's say if you have to sum up Airbnb on one verb plus one complement, what I use Airbnb for? I use Airbnb to book a flat. Okay, that's Airbnb. And so actually expressing your project in terms of one use case, verb plus complement, is a first way to actually get all the crap, you know, and really define concretely what you want to build. So we'll work on defining the core use case that you want to that your project is going to be. Then when we have this use case, we'll work on the core user journey. So on Airbnb, there are lots of user journey. Tell me it's different user journey on Airbnb. There are many user journeys on the project. So the user journey is a sequence of view to make some precise action. So tell me different examples.
Booking a flat or creating a
Yeah, booking a flat, creating a flat when you want first to be an owner. That's 2 user journeys. Another one.
getting reimbursed after something happens.
Yeah. Accepting a booking when you are an owner, right? So you go, you check your message, you accept the offer. So there are lots of user journeys, but the core one, if you have just to sum up Airbnb, is what is the one important journey of Airbnb? Booking a flat, right? Okay. So it's searching, choosing, confirming, paying. That's the one you want to keep at the end of the day. So also on your project, when we have the use case, we'll focus on what's my core journey. Then from this point, it's good because you are not spoiled with design. It's just you think about your core journey. So at this point, we'll work out on, okay, we have different views that are part of a core journey. So what's the important information that we put in this page? And that's called zoning. So zoning is not really making a mockup. It's really putting rectangles with some information you want to display on each page. Okay? And then from that, we'll work on the mockup. So you have the zoning, then you actually build your mockup, and then you connect the page of your mockup, and that makes a prototype. So that's the plan for this day. And the objective, as I told you, is to demo your app tonight, as if you had coded, but it will be just a working prototype. So let's start with the use case. So the use case is a way to from your general product pitch, your inspirational product pitch, focus on one really simple thing, one verb plus one complement. So I chose a bunch of, so do one thing and do it good. And that's the purpose of defining the use case. So if I pick some services like these ones. So Airbnb, we see the use case is book a place or book a flat. Medium, the blogging platform, share a story or write a story. Uber, order a cab. Okay, so we put all the crap of startups bullshit like order a cab, right? We want to use that to order a cab. Trello, you know, the project management system. Manage a project. If I use that as a project management tool, but I can use that for different purpose. And I don't know if you know this one. I think it started from Berlin. It's Kitchen Stories. I don't know if you. It's a recipe, but it's a kind of a recipe website. Okay, so discover recipes or cook a meal. That at the end purpose is to cook a meal at the end, I guess. All right. So with your project, try from your product pitch to actually be really more concrete and define this use case. That's really important to do. So one use case is good, but a good use case is okay, verb plus complement, but also what's my precise angle? Because okay, I can book a flat on Airbnb, but I can book a flat on Booking.com. I can book a flat on other websites, right? I can order a cab on different service than Uber. So fine, I can define a use case, but what's my precise angle? Why am I different? That's also the thing you have to define when you define your use case. So let's do the same exercise. So we can book a flat on Airbnb, write a story on Medium, and so on. But what's the specific angle of this service? Why they are different for their competitors? So Airbnb, what makes Airbnb different than a normal booking like a platform to find a flat? Yeah, it's the catchline is experience the place like a local. So you rent the place of people, not of businesses, right? That's the product. That's the specificity of Airbnb. Medium. So Medium is a blogging platform, but when you write a post on Medium, it doesn't feel like a Tumblr or something like that. So Medium, the angle they wanted to bring is like it's not a post; it's a story that is really well designed. So it makes every one of us journalists, or and people have big ego. So that works really well for Medium because every startup now writing a Medium post, he feels like he's a TechCrunch journalist or a really smart philosopher or whatever. So because they turn a normal post into really a beautiful story, and that makes every one of us journalist or philosopher or whatever. Uber, what's the cool thing with Uber? Why they are different from a normal cab company? Yeah, for me, it's just why they are different. It's just one click, right? It's just like for the convenience. That's their angle. If I had other solutions that are so as quick as Uber, maybe I will use other solutions. But everything is integrated. I don't have to do anything to order a cab. It's one click, literally. So for me, that's their angle. This no friction. Trello. So you know Trello, the project management system. So what's specific with Trello? There are other solutions to make project management? Asana, Asana or Basecamp? So there are a bunch. There are lots of project management solutions. Lots and lots. Yeah, Trello it's not even the project management solution. It's just literally lists and cards. So I don't know if you've ever used Trello or just to show you a bit. Okay, so mine is a bit full, but normally it should be empty if you first sign in. I create a board, new project, and literally that's a dashboard. That's nothing. There is nothing. And so I can just add list. Okay, so backlog, I don't know, ready to work with, in progress. So I basically create the list I want and done. Okay. Then I can add cards, implement or login, sign up. So I can organize it the way I want, add labels, and but it's not like I don't assign. I mean that's something that is purely list and cards. We can't make something simpler in terms of products. Whereas if you look at Asana, you've got a calendar, you've got this and that. So it's really tools that are made for big corporations and that are really like put lots of constraints on the way you organize your project. Trello doesn't put any constraints, list and cards, and that's and period. So actually, their angle is like, well, you don't need more than list and cards. That's what you need. And then you do your own things. And kitchen stories. So maybe also I'll go on kitchen stories to show you. So let's find one recipe. Which one do you want? Maybe it's too early in the morning to eat eggs, or I know English eat eggs at the breakfast actually. So let's eat eggs. Okay. So what makes a bit different the experience of a what makes a bit different the experience of a recipe? I don't know if you go on recipe or food platforms. Yeah, exactly. So basically, that's not like an incredible angle, but still there is an angle here that they say, well, first it needs to be beautiful, like, but all the fooding platforms have beautiful pictures, so it's not really differentiating. But I think that says, well, what's really important for people is more to see the picture, not of the food and the result, but see the picture of the steps, you know. So again, their angle, it's not a really smart one or a complicated one. It's like you need to illustrate each step of the recipe. Okay, and actually the best alumni projects, they also have one use case. So Scalo, it's like manage your plannings as the restaurant owner, someone who owns the restaurant, manage your plannings. Super C Festival, it was organize your festival. Takeaway trips, build your travel guide. And Kudos, that's another product from alumni, is like find a job, and always like one use case and one differentiating criteria. Okay, angle. So for example, Kudos, their angle was, it's painful to find a job because you have to write some cover, to write some motivation letter, update your curriculum, and so on. So they just make an app where you connect with LinkedIn. It will push your profile to companies, and that's the companies who will actually offer jobs to you, and you accept or decline them as in Tinder. So you receive, so you don't have anything to do, right? So their angle was, no, like you can look for a job without doing anything in terms of CV update or whatever. Just connect with LinkedIn and accept decline offers. But their use case is find a job. Is it clear for the use case? So don't spend the day on it, but still spend a bit of time because that defines a lot of things, the use case and the angle. Okay? That gives a real direction to the product. So if you compare, so you know these two solutions, they seem to have the same use case, like book a flat or book a place. But Airbnb is more, the angle is like at a local, with a local basically. So it's focused on social things. And Booking.com, it's more like the discount and the price, which is the real angle, right? And if you look at the product, this is Airbnb. So Airbnb, you see pictures and ratings, so it makes you feel you are, like it really translates the angle that they have. And if you look at Booking, it's like price that are, you know, how do you say?
Slash.
Yeah, slash, there is like big discounts. So again, on the product translates the angle, either the pricing angle or the social angle. So that's why having a use case with an angle will drive your product after. All right, so if you have your use case, now you have to choose your core user journey. So if you have to choose just one that you are going to demo at the end of the bootcamp at the Google campus in front of 1,000 people, well, if you have to choose one, would it be the edition of the profile, the editing of the profile? Oh, I can go on my profile and change my picture and change my name. You agree that you will look ridiculous at Google Campus if the one user journey you are demoing is the editing of the profile. That's not the core user journey of any app. So again, focus. If I have to make some bargains because I have 2 weeks to develop something, and I can't, my project is too ambitious, maybe I'll finish that after the bootcamp, but if I have to choose one core journey that I want to show to the world, which one is it? Which one is the one I keep? And for that, my advice, such as the project I showed you, try to kill the friction and just keep as like few views as you can. Okay, a good user journey should not have like 10 views. Otherwise, 10 views, that means lots of interaction and lots of frictions. So make it simple. Try to, if you can win, like save one view, save it. So if we go on the, so anyway, we'll not accept any user journey with more than 5 views. So it's just mandatory for you to have 5 views max. Okay, so what's the core user journey of Airbnb? So you told me it was booking a flat. Okay? So what's if we detail this user journey? What's the different views? It's a simple one. You have ever used Airbnb or? Yeah? Okay, so what's the core journey?
Enter the city.
Okay, so I'm on a home, so search for a flat. All right? City, guest, check-in, check-out. Then you've got the results. Choose one flat. Okay, then you got on the detail page of this flat. You've got the information on the right with the total price and so on. Confirm that you want to actually book this flat, and then pay. So that's the user journey of the booking on Airbnb. So you're on the home, you search, you get the results, you choose. You've got the show page of the flat. You pick it, you book it, and then you pay. Okay, you get on the confirmation page and you pay. So you know here there is one action in between each page. So again, when you have your use case and your core journey, try to define what's your different views and what actions there is between these views. That's fine for everyone? So you will do that on your project today. And so that's the interesting thing. For each view, you need basically to define 3 things. First, the really more important thing is the action. So what do you want your user to do when he is on the page? And I guarantee you that every student at Le Wagon don't ask themselves this question. They're on a page, they put dozens of buttons everywhere, and whenever every TA or teacher is going to help the guy on the project, it's like, but what are you building, man? Why you put these buttons? What do you want your user to do? And I guarantee, because you're in the code, so you don't see it right. And so the guy's like, well, I don't know anymore what I want my user to do, because he didn't ask himself this question before. So on each page, what do you want your user to do? And one thing only. All right? So that's the action that you want to define. So now you have to give the user a context to understand he has to do that. So what does the user need to know and to see to actually make this action? If you don't give context, I guarantee user they don't understand anything to your product. They are not in your head, the user. They don't know that they are supposed to click here, or if it's not obvious from the information you display. So you have to explain the context with the minimal number of information. And the third thing, which is an option like cherry on the cake, but how do I make my user understand my angle, my unique value proposition? So if you can do that also, it's good because you show your value proposition in each page. So in each page of your journey, you have to define the 3 things. What do I want my user to do? How does he or she understand what he has to do? And how does he understand the unique value proposition of the product? Okay? So if we go, let's go to Airbnb and do this exercise on Airbnb. So I'm on the home page. So sorry, I will put the English version or the UK version. Actually, they changed their interface. Well, they change every time, but okay. So let's try to define for each page of the booking user journey action, context, angle. So action, what do I want my user to do? To search. That's the only action I want to do. No other action, to search. Okay? So the red button, if you see only one red button, it's the search button. From the moment you put another call to action, you bring the attention to the user somewhere else on the page. So just one button, this is the search button. How do you make your user understand he has to do that?
Make it so that button is, what's the word?
Well, your user has to understand how to search. So there is a form with placeholders, where, when, guests. Well, that's it. I mean, he needs a placeholder, he needs to have a form with this information. Otherwise, he can't invent that he has to search this way. So here, the context is a form with inputs and placeholder that help him understand that he needs to put a check-in, check-out, number of guests, right? And location. And how in this page do I make him understand that it's actually different from booking.com? So they change a bit that, so it's not that obvious. Yeah, pictures, that seems not really like hotel pictures. And normally there are pictures of users also. So now they changed their version, but the pictures of the user make me think that it's not a normal hotel platform. It's like about locals, basically. And of course, here, experience the city like a local. That's how I understand the angle of Airbnb. Okay, so here the action is search. The context the user needs to know to search is the information on the form, check-in, check-out, number of guests. And what makes me understand the unique angle of Airbnb is the catch line and some of the pictures. But it's better with the pictures of the user, I think. So let's find something in London. So here for 2 adults. Now I'm on the second page of the user journey, the core journey. So what's the action you want your user to do? Choose one. And for that, what does he need to know? To choose, what does he need to know? The price, yeah. The location, it's really important. That's why there is a big map on the right, because it's really important, the location. And the price as well. And the rating. If we have to keep just 3 information and get all the rest we don't display, it will be the price, the rating, and the map. Okay, that's really the important thing here.
And the picture.
Yeah, the pictures as well.
Maybe suitability.
But pictures like, but I do this work of try to get the minimal information that are necessary for the user to make his decision and make the action. So then I'll get on this page of the funnel of the user journey. So now I know that it was well located, good rating, and good price. I'm here to actually confirm what do I need. So what do I want my user to do? So it's an instant booking, but if it's not an instant booking, it would be like confirm. Here it's instant booking. So to book, and for that, what does he need to know? But what do you look at when you want to book? You just click on it without looking at anything, or well, okay, boom. You wait a bit. Now it's like, what do you look at? So. So exactly, so here you go into the details. Well, is it a big bed because I'm with my girlfriend? So this is the first important thing, like does it have Wi-Fi or whatever? Then I'm sure you're writing the reviews, right? That's the more important thing because you know it was well located and you know the price was okay from the previous view. Now what's really interesting to you is the details of the reviews. So well, Sarah met blah 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 blah, so you read that. And actually the map, is it so important at this point? No, because you already picked that from the page before. So that's why the map is here at the bottom, because it's not as important, let's say, as the reviews and the details about the accommodation. Okay? And also, what other things are really important? Well, actually, here I just choose for 1 night, actually? No. Oh, but it's cheap, yeah. But you need to know the total price, right? Before you book. You also need to know to be sure that there is nothing wrong with the total price and information. Okay? So my action is actually book the apartment. for that, I need to have the total price and the recap of the order, and to see a bit the reviews and more detail about the apartment. And how do I understand that it's about locals? I mean, it's obvious from the reviews that we speak about locals. There are lots of pictures of guys, lots of detailed reviews that are not the same reviews as on booking.com. It's about people. It's like Sarah made an awesome welcome, and I bought a bottle of wine. So it's always about the details on the reviews on Airbnb. It's always about people all the time. Well, and on the last part, it will be I want my user to pay. For that, he needs to enter his credit card details. And okay, the last one is not that interesting. So action, context, angle for each page of your journey. So here, that's exactly what we've done on Airbnb. Okay, home, index, show, confirm. So you can go on the slide if you want to have a look. To advice. So the context that you define on each page, don't put too many information if it's not needed. To choose a flat, I need price, rating, and location, period, and one picture. But that's all I need. I don't need to, to have other information. And when you will work on Raise next week, you feel powerful because you have lots of information in the database. And you say, oh, cool, I've got my active record model, and I can inject this and this and this. And you want to put lots of things in the page. But keep simple and just ask yourself, what's the necessary information for my user to understand what he has to do, period, okay? So if I take example of Airbnb, I don't need all of it depending on the page on which I am, okay? So when you define your journey in the context, ask yourself this minimal information question. Other thing about the action this time, one action per page. That means one call to action per page. So what you can do, so I think we bought some post-its. So what you will do is actually take some post-its and make your user journey like that, okay? Action, context, angle for each page. All right, zoning. So what is zoning? Now it will be a bit more hands-on because we are going to the prototype phase. So what's zoning? When the designer speaks about zoning, what does it mean?
Placement of different features.
Yeah.
Page on the web page.
It's just to put some rectangles where you just say what information you are going to put on the page. But no design, nothing, just rectangles. So we're going to start a sketch project. So everyone has installed Sketch in each team? You'll do that this morning. There is a free trial on Sketch. So you need to be on Mac, but I'm sure there is one Mac user per team. I hope. Okay, so when I create a new Sketch file, it looks like that. So Sketch is is a powerful tool. I mean, it's maybe as powerful as Adobe tools or whatever, but it's for noob. So it looks like Paint. It's a white page, right? Well, you drag and drop shape. So it's really made for newbie that don't want to actually learn a complex vectorial graphical tool or whatever. So that's why it's really used by startups because it's easy to use. So on Sketch, you've got the main board here, and when you're working on a mock-up or on a zoning or whatever, I suggest you first insert. So here on the left, you can insert shapes, text, lots of things. Vector shapes. That means that's how you build images with vector shapes. And you can insert an artboard. So an artboard is just a standardized rectangle that takes the size of an iPhone, the size of a desktop. So here I want to build not an iOS app, I want to build a desktop, so a web application. So I will choose desktop HD, okay? And you see here on the left, I've got all the shapes, all the elements of my Sketch project, okay? So here I can name my artboard. So what do you want to make the zoning of? Which page are you interested in? Maybe the show page of an apartment? This one is interesting, no? Let's make the show page. Okay, the show page of one flat. And let's make the zoning. So what are the info? So it's a bit cheating because we have just seen the page, but let's try to do it together. So I will insert rectangle. So first here I will put what? Okay, so I will put some photo. Okay, let's put it bigger. So to put a text on Sketch, you just hit T, okay, and then you click and you can write a text. It's a shortcut. Or you can also say insert here, text, but it's a bit longer. Just T and click, and you can inject the text anywhere. Okay. So here first I need to put some pictures of the flats. Then what's the other thing I need to put? That's the zoning of the show page of a flat.
The form.
Yeah, the form is really important. So I could decide to have another zoning, but let's skip to the zoning they use in Airbnb. So here there is the booking form. Okay? Now what else? Yeah, but before the description. Yeah, I need here. So either I put one big one or I say, okay, first I've got here I've got the owner. So I need to see the face of the guy, owner. And here I will get the flat. There is a title for the flat. Nice apartment in Shoreditch, you know, cozy, blah, blah, blah. And, so title and rating also. Then here, what's the important thing? We've just seen the page. Normally, if you have a short-term memory. Yeah, so I don't know, like equipment or and whatever, details, something like that. And here, really important, the reviews. So reviews, and not as important, but still, it's at the bottom. They decided to put it again if you need to, yeah, the map. But the map is not the core thing of, so in the zoning it's the less important thing, because we already choose that from the previous map. Okay, so that's called a zoning. You just take your user journey with your, action, context, angle for each page, and you just try to build that for every page. Do you have questions on this? Or? So to make the zoning, it's just about drawing rectangle at the end of the day. So you can do that with Keynote, PowerPoint, or you can do that with Sketch, the thing I did. You can do this. I mean, you don't need to be a drawer to make rectangle. Just buy you a ruler if you don't know how to make a straight line. But you can use sheet of paper, okay? So you decide today if you prefer to use Sketch or a sheet of paper. It's up to you. And here I gave you some, so this is the search page. I mean, no, the results page, sorry, on Airbnb. So filters, results, map. And this is the one we've just done, the detail page. Now mockup. So mockup is actually, okay, I know the zoning. Now I want to put the information inside to build a real mockup. So for the mockup, again, you can make a mockup. I mean, I can use Keynote here. In Keynote, you can inject shapes. Okay, so you can use a Keynote to make or PowerPoint to make a mockup of an app. It's just that the interface is a bit boring with several slides, so it's not the perfect tool. But you can use it if you want. It's sufficient to build a mockup. You can use Sketch, or you can use also a solution like Balsamiq. So personally, I like to build a mockup which is not just doesn't look like a toy, but really look like the final product because it helps me see a bit But you can you decide to use Balsamiq if you are used to the tool. I don't have any church for that. even if I will ask you to use Sketch today. Okay, so this is the show view. That's called zoning, and this is the mockup. It's just putting a skin on your zoning. Okay? Show view, zoning, show view, mockup. So I did a sketch demo. So everyone has watched the demo, or you want that we make it again, or? Okay, let's make it again anyway, for those who haven't seen that. And it will make you rehearse a sketch. So here I'm fine with my zoning. So let's just delete this artboard and create a new one. Insert, artboard. And now I'm really working on my mockup. So first things, I've got, let's say I want to design my home page. What do you need to start with when you are at the mockup step? Well, that's called the layout. That's the layout, exactly that. It's the command structure of all the page. Because if I say copy-paste here, you know, for the different page of my app, it's a bit stupid because I would prefer to copy-paste the structure with the navbar and the footer. And I will have this structure for all my websites. Okay? So first, we need to work on the layout. So let's make the layout. So it's easy, the layout. What is it? Footer and navbar. So rectangle. I put a rectangle here. So here you can just select the size you want. And on Sketch, on the right, there is the inspector, which allows you to really like define the width and the height more precisely. Subtly. It's really hard to say subtly. So this one is good. 1440 pixels is like a desktop HD. And here I will say, well, I want a navigation bar of 70 pixels. Okay? Maybe my main body of my page, I want to change a bit the background color of it. So I will use a gray background for a slight gray background for my overall page, and I will make my navbar white, okay, with a border that's a bit lighter, like that. Okay. So here I suggest you name the thing. Okay. So you can call it navbar or things like that. You can name things. So let's call it a navbar container. So what do you have in the navbar? Well, I cheat a bit. You've got a logo. Okay. What else? On the right, you did a navbar with Karin. Okay, so let's say it's a navbar when you're logged in. So when you're logged in on Airbnb, that would be? Yeah, there is the avatar, but the other text links, what would it be? Exactly, messages. So that's the one on your apartment, the message you've got on, or the message you got from people who you want to rent the flat. So let's make a bit smaller, like 25 pixels, and a bit lighter. So you can really access to everything on the right part of Sketch. What other links do I need?
Profile.
Yeah. So as I said, travels, and so profiles. It's often a list which is in a drop down on an avatar picture. So you can just put a circle here for the avatar, and the profile will be one of the links of the drop down when you click on the profile. Okay. So let's say it's my navbar. Now I can select all the shapes. So either by clicking on it or by selecting them on the left part. And I can basically group them. So by clicking on group here, and I can name it, that will be my nav bar. So grouping things is a way to copy paste the components. You know, it's like you can copy paste the component and reuse it. That's all right for everyone? So I don't make the footer because the footer is stupid. It's just a dark rectangle with some links. So let's say I'm happy with my layout. Now I can copy paste my artboard. Sorry. And this time I copy paste the page with the skeleton. Okay? So I will have my home, my results page, and my show page. And I can design everything. So let's do that really, really quickly. I just want to show you how you make a mask, and that's it. I won't spend too much time on Sketch. So here, what do I have on the home page? You know home page, you've done that like dozens of times. So you've got the picture. But the problem with the picture is a bit too big. I want it to be like less high, okay? So how can I do that? Because if I try to unlock the proportion and change the height, that can be an option, but what's happening? Yeah, it's actually fucking up with the proportion. Well, I can't go back to my initial. Okay. So what can I do is to create a mask. That means that I will use another shape to mask some part of my picture. That's what a mask is. So you select another shape. So in this case, it's not a circle mask, it's a rectangle mask. You select the part which you are interested in, this one. You select the two shapes by just hitting Shift and selecting the two shapes, or selecting them on the left, and you create a mask. And that means that one shape will mask the other one. And after that, you can actually open your mask, and you can shift the image. But you see, it's shifting the image, but it stays in the mask. Or you can make it bigger if you want, but it's still in the mask, okay? That's fine for the mask? Okay, and what do you need here? Maybe you see the filter, like the gradient filter with Karin? When you have, here the image is a bit too contrasted, so we can't see text if we put some text on it, because it's too detailed. So what you can do is create, not a mask, but just a rectangle. What does it need? Now you are front-end expert, so you know that. You need some opacity. Okay? And on top of it, I can say what's the catch line? Experience, thank you. Experiment, a city like a local. Okay, so it needs to be white, it needs to be much bigger. So blah, 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 okay. I will put my value proposition. And here, I need to put the search bar. So which one do you want for the input? Yeah, rounded, why not? Rounded. So what are the inputs? So white, okay. So that will be where, and then check in, check out, number of guests, and search button. So for the search button, no border. I will select, let's say, red. And here I hit T, and I can inject some text. So this text should be the placeholder. So placeholder, you know what it is? Placeholder is like an indicative text that disappears when you start filling the inputs. So let's say placeholders are smaller like that. So the first placeholder would be either where or an example. So it's two options. You can say either Paris to give an example, or you can say where. Such as for an email, you say email, or you say boris@gmail.com. It's two practice for placeholders. So let's zoom a bit. So where, then check in, check out, and number of guests, or guests, or one guest. And then it's a drop down and you can change. Okay? And here, so I will make it white and bold to really that it's the one call to action, so it needs to be more visible than the other guys. So I will make it bold. Oh. And search. So that's my search bar. And again, I can select all the shapes. And what do? I can group them, and I will call it search form. Okay? Maybe, thank you. Let's do it a bit dirty, but. And now if I want to reuse my search form in another page, and I can use it and change it a bit, but I can just copy paste to start with this component. That's okay? So there is nothing, you know Sketch as much as I do. And I'm using Sketch I've been using that for 2 years, and I don't know more techniques than that. And it's sufficient for me to make any mockups of anything. You know, if I show you maybe recently, Kit, well, I'm sorry because I worked on a lot of, let's try to find it where it can be, Kit, UI. I want to change the UI of Kit because I think it's a bit annoying with the breadcrumb, you know, the way you navigate on Kit. I find it a bit annoying. And so I've started working on new mockups, but it's artboard, it's, you know, it's just the thing I've just shown you. It's nothing, it's circles and rectangles in colors. It's nothing more. I didn't use anything more to do that than, so and on an image you can put an opacity. Okay, so you can really do whatever you want with Sketch at the end.
Are you able to add videos to Sketch?
To add videos? It's not a prototyping. It's not prototyping tool. It's a mockup tool, so it's static. But then you can Sketch. You can connect it to InVision or to Marvel app. That's what we're going to do to actually build a prototype. But it's a mockup, static mockup. So once you've done the page, what's the next step? So if you want to build a prototype, you have to export this as a PNG, just the simpler thing to do. So there are more advanced prototyping tools such as InVision, and InVision you can directly plug it to Sketch to work with Sketch. But here we are a bit new in the prototyping world, so we'll just export PNG and use a simpler tool for prototyping, which is called Marvel app. So to export, I select the artboard I want to export, the home, let's say it's the home page, and on the right bottom, I have Make Exportable. So I click on it. I choose if I want a PDF, like an SVG. In this case, I will choose PNG. I can decide, because I want it to be really high resolution, to, let's say, take this one with three times the dimension, and I export as a PNG my page. So let's put that in the desktop. And now you've got actually your page here as a PNG. And we'll see how to use that to build a prototype. It's okay? But the important part is if you have your zoning, I guarantee that the mockup is really faster. If you haven't worked on your core journey, on your action context angle, on your zoning, it's so long to make a mockup because you ask yourself all the questions that you should have asked yourself before. Okay, so I will cheat a bit, and I will actually. So in the repo with the product design sprint, there is a sketch file. So here, that's exactly what we have on GitHub. That's the project we have on GitHub. So there is the slide of the lecture, and there is the PNG that are exported from this sketch project. Okay? So if you clone the repository of the design sprint, you can have the sketch project of this Airbnb mockup if you want to reuse some components, for instance. Okay? Feel free to use it. So here I've already exported my PNG files. So I've got my 3 pages, my index, my show page as a PNG, and so on. And now I want to connect them to build a prototype. You know service to do that, or? So the more professional was in InVision to build prototypes. But it's really a professional UX developer tool. So we'll not use that. So we are done with the mockup. We are at the prototype phase. So personally, there is some tool which is convenient for beginners and kind of powerful. It's called Marvel app, which is good. It's not a Mac application. It's a web application, so everyone can use it. The free plan, I have 2 projects for free. So it's not like, so you can actually use it if you just don't need 2 projects, you can erase the project and create new ones. And there is no length of time. It's not a 100 days trial. It's like for life, but just 2 projects. So it's kind of convenient for our needs. So it's stupid. You've got the PNG, you import them in Marvel app, and then you connect some part of the page. Okay? So let's do that. So it's called Marvel app. Does everyone, someone knows this tool or? Okay. So actually, I'm connecting to Marvel app. And it's really simple, actually. Super simple interface, right? So I will just create a new project. So let's say I'm working on the Airbnb, so Airbnb mockup, prototype. It will be a website, okay? So that's exactly the same dimension of my sketch artboard, 1440 pixels. So I create the project, and then I just have to drag and drop the PNG files for my views. So I will just look for them. Here, I select these guys, and I drop my files. So it takes a bit of time, and it's loading the home page, okay, the result page of Airbnb, and the show page. I think the files are a bit big. All right, so we have our 3-page loaded in Marvel app. And so what do we want to do to connect some part of the page together? So I'm not sure you can simulate some typing, but put some fake values for tonight's demo, okay? You won't simulate the typing, but if you want to simulate typing, in your mockup, put some text already in the forms. So I can edit, let's say, the home page. And here, I can select some zone. So I will say when I click on the search here, let's say, which page should I go on? The show or the index? Yeah, the index page. Okay, so I'm done with this one. On the second one. It's not the second one. Yeah, the second one. Let's say when I click on the last apartment here, I will go on the show page. And also when I click on the logo, I will go on the home. And I'm done with this one. And this one takes a bit of time to load. Is the show page. So I don't have the other page of my funnel, but I will put the trigger on the book it here. And again, I can put a trigger here on the logo and go back to the home. Okay? So when that's done, you can play your prototype. So, I'm on Airbnb. Well, I want to select a flat in Paris. I search. I arrive on the search. I really like this one because it's really different from the other ones. So I click on it. And, okay, maybe it's not that good. I go back to the home. So you can build a small prototype with that. What is cool also is, I think, you can basically share it. So you can even embed that in another website or share it with a URL to a friend. So it's a way also to make your friends test it if you want. So it's a nice tool. It's not the more professional tool, but it's for small projects, it's really, really easy to use.
Can you collaborate as well?
Actually, you know, I heard about this tool because a friend of me working at Airbnb is using that, but I'm not a professional on. I just know basic features. Connect with Slack, maybe. Add people, yeah, I guess. I'm discovering that with you actually. So yeah, I guess you can collaborate. Okay, yeah, manage collaborators on this project.
Can you design the page? Like, can you change the design of the page on the mobile?
Well, design, maybe. I'm really like not like I just benchmark tools for the design sprint of today, and I try to find the one that do not require the Macintosh just only, and you know, respecting some constraint and simple tool, and also like validated by some of my friends working in the tech industry. But I don't know this tool. I'm not an expert in Marvel app. Okay. Well, it's actually your turn now. So just some of you can make just list all the steps that we've seen in the lecture and that you have to go through today. So the first step is the use case. Okay? So what's the use case is verb plus complement. Book a flat and an angle. Book a flat at the local, with the local. That's the angle. All right? So use case and angle. Then select one core user journey of your app, the one you want to demo at Google Campus. Then zoning of each page. So in this user journey, for each page, you have to define action, context, angle, right? Using post-its. Put all post-its here so that I can pictures of startups, you know. Like. And then, so user journey, then zoning, mock-up, prototyping, and demo at 5 o'clock this afternoon. All right? So now we can take a coffee.